You're not here by chance. This screen that opened before your eyes, this video, this voice, it's all part of something you don't understand now, but you will soon. I am the Most High, and I am calling you. This is a heavenly summons, an urgent reminder coming from my throne straight to your weary heart. A spiritual window has opened over your life, and it won't stay that way for long. The time of waiting has become a time of decision, and everything you do now will define what comes next. Don't ignore what you're hearing. Your spirit has already felt it. Deep inside, silently, you already know that this message is the answer to what you cried out for. You prayed for a sign. You cried out for direction, and I came. I came with love, but also with seriousness. I came with peace, but also with urgency, because there is something great prepared for you. But I can't force you to enter. I open the door, but you must walk through. It's no longer a distant promise. It's now. And now doesn't repeat itself. Don't be fooled by the silence of the days, by the appearance of routine, or by the delay you felt. When I act, everything changes in the blink of an eye. But this decision must be made with faith, with courage, with obedience. This word is the sound of heaven calling you, and it hasn't come late. And before you think about giving up or closing this video, answer me one thing honestly. Do you feel like I'm talking to you now? Because in the next moment, you will understand exactly, because this message arrived at the right time. If at any point these words have tugged at your heart, filled your eyes, and felt something greater is happening, then this channel was created for you too. Here, each message is a seed from heaven, ready to touch those who are weary, confused, or waiting for an answer. If this word has already begun to speak to you, don't leave without subscribing now. Be part of this community of faith that is rising up day after day with messages that come not from men, but from eternity. Click the like button, not only to support, but to activate the reach of this call and allow other lives to be touched as well. This is your time. Heaven is calling you, and you are not alone. You asked me for answers, but you also accused me of being silent. I saw every thought hidden in your heart, including those you were ashamed to admit even to yourself. I saw you try to keep your faith even when you were powerless. I saw everyone around. You tell you to keep going, but no one knew the struggle you were waging inside. You walked through dark places of your soul, places where hope seemed to die a little each morning. You tried to smile at others, even as your soul silently cried out for help. And do you know what hurt me the most? It was seeing you believe I'd abandoned you. It was watching in silence as you believed you were alone, when in truth every tear that fell on your pillow was collected by me. Not a single prayer of yours went to waste. Not a single sigh went unnoticed. You may not have seen me at work, but I was there. Behind the scenes, between the lines, in the details no one notices. I was the one who held your mind when you thought of giving up on everything. I was the one who kept the wrong doors from opening, even when you begged for them. I was the one who hid you on days when exposure would have destroyed you. I didn't ignore you. I protected you. You've been living in a time when everything seems stuck. What once flowed lightly has now become a burden. The dreams that once moved you now seem distant and dusty. You wonder where you went wrong, why life has stopped, why so many promises seem to have been made only to be postponed. And in the midst of all this, you've begun to question whether you were truly capable, whether you had value, whether you deserved to experience something new. But listen to what I'm saying. None of this is true. You were put to the test, not because I wanted to see you suffer, but because I needed to show you what was inside you. In the midst of the pain, you discovered that you still had faith, even when you felt nothing. In the midst of the waiting, you discovered that there was still hope, even if faint, even if trembling. You didn't fail. You resisted. You remain standing, and this, for heaven, carries a weight you don't yet comprehend. There's a wound inside you that no one understands, perhaps not even you. A constant feeling of not being in the right place, of not living the life you should, of having wasted too much time. You look back and feel like you made so many wrong decisions, that you let important moments slip by, that you wasted opportunities. But the time you think you wasted are used to transform you, and what seemed like delay was actually preservation. What felt like rejection was a detour to keep you from sinking into paths I never planned for you. You also feel like people have walked away, that the words you needed to hear never came, that when you needed them most, those who said they loved you were too busy to listen. I saw it happen, and even though loneliness screamed loudly inside you, I remained there, whispering things you might have ignored because of the noise of fear. But I was still there. You said, "Lord, I can't take it anymore." And I silently answered, "I know, but you'll hold on a little longer because you're almost there." And when you asked me if there was still something in store for you, I had already prepared everything. The fight was never about destroying you, but about positioning you. I needed to remove from you the fear of trusting me. I needed to remove the need to control everything. I needed to teach you to depend, not through punishment, but through love. You can't imagine how many spiritual wars have been fought on your behalf. How many times the enemy thought he could touch what is yours. But I said, "Not yet. He's mine. She's mine, because your name is still written in my hands, and my plans are still in place. Nothing has been cancelled. Nothing has been forgotten. It has simply been postponed, because I wanted you to be mature enough to keep it when you received it. And if there is still doubt in your heart, if there is still a cry trapped in your soul saying, 'But why all this, God?' then prepare yourself, because in what I am going to reveal to you now, you will understand the true reason for the pain that shaped you. Now tell me honestly, have you also been feeling that spiritual fatigue that doesn't go away with sleep? A strange feeling of being present but disconnected inside, as if something is wrong, but you can't explain it. Have you ever wondered why you've been so sensitive, crying out of the blue, losing the spark even in things that once brought you peace? Then comment below, "I feel it in me." Because sometimes what seems like weakness is just the Spirit trying to let you know that God is near, and something inside you already knows. Son, daughter, listen carefully now, because what I'm about to tell you is more than an explanation. It's a revelation. You've come this far because you need to hear it directly from my heart, without intermediaries, without distractions, without fear. It's as if the entire sky has fallen silent just so you can understand what is about to be unleashed upon your life. Because today, I don't come with another promise for the future. I come with a decree for now. What I promised you back then, back when you still believed easily, has not been forgotten. It has not been erased by your falls, nor nullified by your doubts. My love is not conditional on your performance. My words do not return empty. I do not change my mind when you stumble. What I said I would do, I'm still going to do it. But listen to this with all your mind. The time of promise has passed. Now is the time of fulfillment. But compliance requires movement. The door that was once closed now stands before you, wide open, and it's not just any door. It's a gateway to a new cycle, a call to a time of acceleration, answers, restitution, and divine alignment. But this door demands something from you: decision, faith without hesitation, obedience without question. Because what is being released now is for those who have the courage to walk through, even without understanding all the details. Those who remain paralyzed by fear will miss this time. And I cannot force anyone to believe in what is being activated. That's why I'm calling you. That's why I brought you to this word, because you need to understand this is the decisive hour. The time of doubt is over. The time of waiting is over. The time of saying one day is over. You either believe or you lose. You either take a stand or you fade away. You either move or watch others take what was meant to be yours. I still love you, even if you don't make it through. But what I have prepared can only be delivered to those who decide to obey now. Son, it's no longer about waiting. It's about entering, because there are blessings that only manifest when you take the first step, even if you tremble. There are doors that only stay open for a season, and the time of this door is short, because there are others being prepared for the same place. I don't work with scarcity, but I move by principles. And at this very moment, there is something liberated about your life that has never been so close. You asked for it. You cried out for it. Now it's here. But I also need to tell you the truth. There will be resistance. The enemy knows this is the turning point in your story. He's been firing arrows of confusion, fear, and distraction. He wants to make you think the time isn't right, that you're not ready, that you still need more confirmation. But I've already confirmed it. I've already spoken. I've already aligned people. I've already opened paths. I've already removed barriers you didn't even see. Now all that's left is you. You asked me, Lord, can I handle it? And I answer you now. Not only can it handle it, but it was prepared exactly for this moment. This pain you went through, this silence you endured, this weight that exhausted you, all of it was not in vain. It served to mature you, to remove unnecessary burdens, to make you more sensitive to my voice. And now, when the door opens, you will not waste what you would have wasted before. You will not make mistakes where you already made them, because now you are different. Listen, no matter what others say, no matter who gave up on you, no matter how many times they said you couldn't do it, what I have with you is exclusive. What I wrote for you cannot be replaced. And if you trust, if you stand up in faith and walk through that door, what's on the other side will surprise you, because it's no longer a promise. It's now, and now carries power, now carries fulfillment, now carries glory. But there's still something you need to see with the eyes of faith. Something that's happening right now in the spiritual world, and that can completely change the way you interpret your pain, your silence, and your process. Prepare yourself, because in what I'm about to show you, you'll understand that heaven has never stopped working. Now that this revelation has reached you, I want to issue you a spiritual challenge. If this word spoke to you deeply, if something within you was awakened while listening to each phrase, then write in the comments, I'm walking through this door. It's not just a phrase, it's an act of faith. It's your spirit saying to heaven, I receive, I believe, I take a stand. And if you write this with sincerity, you'll realize you're not alone, because others are also rising up now. And you're part of this movement. Shall we walk together? Close your eyes for a moment, not to escape reality, but to see beyond it. Because what I'm going to show you now cannot be seen with the eyes of the body, but with the eyes of the soul. Imagine yourself standing in a vast hallway, illuminated by a soft light coming from above. In front of you is a door, immense, golden, with inscriptions that glow like fire. It reads, Time of Fulfillment. It's open, and behind it, there's a territory you've never set foot in, but always dreamed of reaching. I invite you in. But first, look around. See how many people are paralyzed in the hallway. Some are sitting, waiting for a signal that was given long ago. Others have their eyes closed in. Oh, fear, even with the door wide open. And there are also those who have decided to turn away, not believing something like this would be possible for them. But you're still standing. And that's already a sign that you're ready to move forward. Now look closely. Angels are positioned beside the door. They're not there by chance. They have open books, names written down and decrees in their hands. They're waiting for just one gesture, your step of faith, because there are promises that are only activated when you decide to walk, even without human guarantees. They know that upon entering you will face resistance, but they also know that what's in store for you is too great to be wasted by hesitation. And look again. Behind you, there are voices. They are echoes of the past, voices of guilt, trauma, and frustration trying to call you back. But look ahead. The light is stronger there. The sky is breathing toward you. There is spiritual movement all around you. I am blowing the winds of change, and when I blow, no one can stop it. That door is open now, not by merit, but by grace. Not because you were perfect, but because you resisted when many would have stopped. Now, all that's left is for you to see it the way I see it. Have you ever wondered why you had to go through all this? Why was there so much silence, so much waiting, so many closed doors, and so many hidden tears? Sometimes the human heart confuses discipline with rejection, and that's why I need to explain to you now, with all the love I have, that you were never forgotten. You were aligned. My plan wasn't just to give you something. It was to prepare you to sustain what was to come, because I am not a God of easy gifts. I am a father, and as a father, I do not give what destroys, even when it seems good in your eyes. Many times you asked me for things that you now know would harm you. Other times you cried out for access that, if granted at that time, would feed your ego and kill your purpose. I didn't deny it, I protected it, because human time is short-sighted, but heaven's time is strategic. I hid you on days when everything seemed to be going according to plan, and you thought, God has forgotten me. But I was shaping you. It was in the silence that I molded you. It was in the absence of answers that I taught you to listen more deeply. While you cried, I was tearing away what couldn't accompany you in the new era. People, habits, insecurities, patterns, everything that was out of alignment with the prophetic path needed to be removed. And even though it hurt, it was necessary. Many ask to experience the new, but few are willing to let go of the old. And you, no matter how much you resisted, no matter how much you hesitated, deep down, you always wanted to experience what I prepared for you. That's why I didn't give up on you. Even when you stopped praying, even when you doubted my presence, even when you walked away, even when you were silent, even when you thought about giving up everything, I remained, because what I have with you is eternal, and my covenants are not broken by your momentary weakness. Now listen carefully. Everything you've experienced, however confusing it may have seemed, was part of a path I myself traced. And when you thought you were lost, I was merely redirecting you. When you thought you were backsliding, I was making you retreat for a moment, only to launch you further later. My process seems madness to the natural eye, but to the eyes of the Spirit, everything has a reason. Suffering refines, waiting matures, pain realigns. And only those who pass through the furnace of preparation are worthy of bearing the weight of the promise. You needed to learn to hear me, not just in services, in songs, or in the words of others, but in the depths of your being. You needed to recognize my voice even in the silence, because whoever recognizes me in the desert never gets lost in abundance. Whoever obeys me in scarcity never gets corrupted in conquest. And that's why I'm saying now, you are ready. Everything is falling into place. Everything starts to make sense, because now you don't just seek answers, you seek my will. Now you don't cry out for blessings, you cry out for direction, and that changes everything. Because true spiritual maturity isn't when you understand everything, it's when you follow me, even without understanding. And it is precisely because you are aligned that I can now release upon you what has been kept for so long. But first, I need to declare something over your life that will renew your faith and ignite the fire of promise in your heart. Receive this word now as one who receives a decree from heaven. It is no longer a consolation. It is an announcement. It is no longer a wave of hope. It is a liberation. Today I declare over your life, the time for change has come. What was blocked begins to flow. What seemed postponed will be accelerated. And what you thought you had lost will be returned with honor, with doubled strength, with complete restoration. I am the God who transforms sad endings into glorious beginnings. I am the one who enters broken stories and writes new chapters where the world only saw a period. And that is why I brought you here, so that you could hear with the ears of the Spirit that the time of defeat is over. Waiting has given way to an answer. Crying has given way to fulfillment. The seed that seemed forgotten underground will now blossom before the eyes of those who doubted you. You endured pressures that would destroy others. You passed through deserts that many would not have survived. And even without strength, you did not give up your faith. Even tired, you dragged yourself in prayer. And this was seen by the heavens. No tear was in vain. No renunciation went unnoticed. Now the time has come when what was only spiritual begins to manifest in the natural. What was only a promise will now be experience. Prepare to be surprised by doors that will open without you knocking. Prepare for unexpected connections, unexpected invitations and provisions that will come from where you least expect them. Prepare to enter places not built with your name on them, but set aside by me exclusively for this time. And remember, you are not being promoted by merit, but by grace. Fear no more, back down no more, doubt no more. Because now, the one who speaks to you is the one who does not lie, who does not change, and who is not late. This word is your confirmation. This promise is your harvest. This time is your new cycle. And if there is still any shadow of doubt in your heart, what I'm going to ask of you now will spiritually seal your commitment to this word. Now that you've received this word, I want you to do something. Something small in human eyes, but powerful in the spiritual world. Because every promise released demands a response. And today, I'm not calling you just to listen. I'm calling you to act. This isn't about religious activism, nor about external performance. It's about a prophetic gesture that declares before heaven and earth, I receive this word as truth about my life. Touch your heart now. That's right, with your hand. No matter where you are, this simple gesture is a way of saying, God, I acknowledge that this message was meant for me. By doing so, you are sealing what has been released. You are telling heaven that you are ready to live what you have only heard for so long. You are showing that you will no longer doubt, that you will no longer postpone, that you will no longer back away from the call. And if this word really touched your heart, I want you to write now, in the comments of this video, with faith, with conviction, as someone who already sees the blessing before their eyes, the following sentence: I enter through God's door, without fear and with faith. These words carry weight. They represent your surrender, your alignment. Don't write on impulse, write with truth, as if you were signing a spiritual pact with the new era that is coming. But don't stop there. Share this video with someone you know needs to hear it. It could be a family member, a friend, or even someone you don't have much contact with, but whom the Holy Spirit has already brought to your mind while listening to this message. The word that is restoring you right now could be exactly what someone else is silently crying out to receive. Be the channel, be the bridge, be the messenger. Remember, symbolic gestures have eternal value when made with the heart in mind. And what you're doing now, touching your heart, writing in the comments, sharing this message, is much more than a digital act. is a prophetic response that activates the move of God in your life. Now take a deep breath. I know your heart is racing. I know that as you listened to each word, something inside you was being broken, dismantled, and rebuilt. What you're feeling now isn't just emotion, it's presence. It's the touch of my spirit pouring into areas within you that were dormant. It's the peace that surpasses understanding, visiting the place where before there was only anguish. It's heaven saying, I am here, I have always been. I know your heart like no one else. I know the fears you've never told anyone. I've seen you struggle with thoughts no one would ever understand. I've seen you smiling on the outside and falling apart on the inside. I've seen you trying to be strong when all you wanted to do was fall apart. And that's why I didn't give up on you. Even on the days when you felt like you no longer believed in anything, I believed in you. I was there in that moment when you prayed softly, your voice breaking, not even knowing what to ask for. I was there when you said, Lord, just don't let me give up. And I didn't. Because even though the world around you had collapsed, you kept a spark of faith within you. No matter how small, it was enough to keep me close. And now I'm telling you with all tenderness, you are no longer in the same place as before. Don't blame yourself for the times when you felt discouraged. I understand you. Don't condemn yourself for the moments when you doubted. I understand you. You are human. And I am the God who knows how to care for the human soul with gentleness. What I want from you is not perfection. It is surrender. What I hope for is not that you never falter. It is that you always return to me when you falter. And you have returned. You are here. You are listening to me. And that makes me happier than you can imagine. It's time for a new beginning, time to align dreams, time to cleanse your heart, to remove the burdens you carried trying to prove something to others. You no longer need to prove anything. I know you. I formed you. I know what I planted within you. And everything that hasn't yet blossomed will blossom in the right time, in the right season. And now that you are more sensitive to my voice, it will be easier to perceive my signs, my touches, my details. You will begin to feel joy in simple things again. You will notice that your heart will be healed from within, that the constant anguish will gradually disappear. I will lift the weight from your soul. I will cleanse old hurts. I will restore your trust in me, in yourself, and even in others. I will teach you to love without fear, to dream without guilt, to walk without needing to understand everything. Because when you rest in me, I myself will take charge of organizing everything around you. Let me hold you now, even from a distance. Close your eyes for a moment and feel. It's not imagination, it's real. It's me enveloping your spirit with calm, with lightness, with comfort. Because you don't have to carry everything alone. You never have. You only carried this far because you thought you had to be strong all the time. But now, I want you to allow yourself to be cared for. I want you to feel how loved you are, even when you feel inadequate. You will sleep better. You will wake up with more clarity. You will begin to hear my voice more clearly. And even when you don't know what to do, you will have peace within. Because you will know you are safe in me. This peace I'm releasing now is not dependent on circumstances. It comes from me. And where I dwell, fear does not abide. So rest, surrender, let go of control. Stop trying to understand everything. Just live one day at a time with me. Walk by faith, not by answers, because whatever your heart needs, I am already preparing it. And at the right time, you will look back and realize it was worth not giving up. Now that you've allowed this word to penetrate the depths of your spirit, I want to continue speaking to you, because what began here doesn't end with this video. There's more, much more. There are spiritual revelations that still need to be released into your life. There are answers that heaven has already prepared and that will soon be delivered. And there are truths hidden between the lines of your path, truths that, when revealed, will open your spiritual eyes in ways you've never experienced before. What's about to be revealed will connect the dots that still seem loose today. Because when I initiate something within you, it's not just a word thrown into the air. It's a summons to a journey. And this journey is made up of stages. Each video, each message, each touch you receive here is part of the path that takes you to a new level of faith, maturity, and intimacy with me. Do you remember that time when it seemed like nothing was happening? That period when you sought me in prayer, fasting, and praise, and yet everything around you remained the same? That moment when you wondered, has God forgotten me? Are my prayers weak? Am I alone? Well, that wasn't wasted time. That season of silence had a deeper purpose than you can imagine. And in the next video, I want to open your understanding to something that perhaps no one has explained to you before. Because there are things that are only revealed in silence. There are healings that only happen when the soul is confronted with emptiness. And there are answers that only emerge when you learn to listen with your heart, not just your ears. So listen carefully to what I'm going to tell you now. Don't stop here. Don't close that window. Don't allow distraction, fatigue, or routine to interrupt what heaven is building within you. This message was just the beginning of something greater. It was like a key turning in the spiritual lock of your life. And what I will release next will clearly show you that not a single second of your waiting was in vain. When you thought I was silent, that was exactly when I was most active behind the scenes. I was preparing the ground, aligning situations, strengthening your inner structure, closing doors you shouldn't cross, and guarding you from traps that would have destroyed what I planned for you. I saw your struggle. I saw your dark days. I saw how hard you tried to understand what was happening without receiving any explanation. And yet, you remained. Even hurt, you continued. Even in silence, you prayed. And that's why now you are ready to hear what you were not ready to bear before. Because there are truths that heaven only releases when the heart is prepared. And what I have prepared in this next video is one of those truths. You need to understand something. My processes are not linear, but they are perfect. When I lead you through a season of silence, it's not to punish you. It's to position you, to strengthen your roots, to bring forth fruits that don't come from haste, but from depth. And this maturity you've achieved through pain, emptiness, and waiting will be exactly what sustains the miracles that are coming. So stay with me. Allow this journey to be uninterrupted. Because what I'm releasing now, behind the scenes of your life, demands a connected heart. Watch the video now. God's silence has a purpose. In it, you will discover what no one has told you. You will understand how I use silence not as absence, but as a strategy, as a tool of alignment, as a silent preparation for what your spirit has always longed for, but was not yet ready to receive. You will understand that silence is not proof of rejection, but often a sign of honor. Because when I trust someone, I place them in processes that require faith, even without explanation. And you were one of those chosen. So if this message touched you, if something deep inside you was awakened, then consider this a personal call, a call to keep going, to not return to a point of stagnation, to not retreat into your old comfort zone. What I'm doing with you now is more than just a pretty word. It's a construction, and everything solid needs to be built layer by layer. The next layer is in the next video, and if you let the Spirit continue to guide you, you'll find these words connecting like pieces of a spiritual puzzle. And when the complete picture comes together, you'll see that I've been by your side all along. But listen, you can't feed on spiritual crumbs and expect to have the strength to carry an entire promise. That's why I brought you here, and that's why I'm calling you to go further. What started here is not entertainment, It is preparation, it's alignment, it's profound restoration. And the next video is part of that. Don't let time pass. Don't think, I'll watch it later, because later steals destinies. And this window of revelation is open now. Don't postpone what heaven is doing in the present. So, click now and watch. God's silence has a purpose. It's more than a video. It's the answer your spirit needs. It's the missing link. It's the confirmation of what you've lived. And perhaps it's there that you'll finally understand the reason for so many tears, so many closed doors, and so much time in silence. Because what you called pain today, I called polishing, and what you thought was delay was just the exact timing of the invisible construction that heaven created within you. Before you go, before this window closes, I want to release one last word about your life. Take a deep breath. Silence the external and internal voices for a moment. Slow down your mind. Empty your worries for a moment and simply allow yourself to receive. Not in a rush, not distracted, but with an open heart, because what I have to release now is a spiritual portion that goes beyond any human understanding. May the peace that comes directly from my throne now invade not only your surroundings, but also your most intimate thoughts. May this peace descend upon your home like an invisible yet powerful balm. May it spread through the corridors of your soul, reaching areas you yourself had previously given up on addressing. May all emotional weight, all silent anxiety, all mental confusion, all paralyzing fear, and all inner restlessness now begin to lose strength, to lose ground, to lose dominance. Because where my presence enters, no darkness remains. May your thoughts be purified, your feelings healed, your heart restored, and your spiritual eyes open to see beyond the visible. May your mind receive wisdom. May your spiritual ears be sensitive to my voice, and may your steps be directed with firmness, intentionality, courage, and discernment. And may you, from this moment on, walk with the full awareness that I am not far away. I am with you, not just in moving services, intense prayers, or moving songs, but in the most ordinary moments, in the simplest details, in decisions no one sees, in silences no one understands, and in sighs no one hears. You were never alone, even when everyone left, even when the nights seemed too long, even when the days dragged on and your heart was lost in dark thoughts. I was there, and now I remain. What you felt today wasn't just a momentary emotion. It was a real presence. It was my spirit testifying to your spirit that there is something greater guiding you. And this presence, if you allow it, will walk with you. It will sustain you when you lack strength. It will remind you of who you are when fear tries to erase your identity. So remember what I've said here. When doubt wants to scream again, come back to this video. When anxiety wants to take over your chest, remember this promise. When everything seems too dark, remember that I am the light that never goes out, the lamp for your feet, and the right direction when all paths seem uncertain. And if this word touched your soul, if you felt that heaven visited your life through this message, then subscribe to this channel now. It's not just subscribing to more content. It's a spiritual step. It's a covenant. It's your way of saying, Lord, I want to keep listening to you. Because what you've begun to experience here is just the beginning. I still have much to show you, much to heal, much to align. Each new message you receive here will be a new portion, new nourishment, a new step on this spiritual ladder we're climbing together. Share this word with someone in need. You know someone who's at their limit. Someone who prays and feels like heaven is silent. Someone who hides their pain behind a smile but is silently begging for help. Send this video to that person, because what touched you could be the key to someone's freedom. You have no idea the impact a word can have at the right time. And remember, I am the God who begins, but I am also the God who completes. And what I began in your heart today will be completed in the right time, in the right way, and in a way that will surprise even those who no longer believed in you. Walk in peace and keep listening, because I still have much to say.